We got the chocolate Nubian soul brother, aka Krishool, in the house. Let's see what's up here. Gonna make sure that this is running smoothly. Okay, how do I? Alrighty, let's see what's up, yo. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy, Chris Shule, aka the esoteric noetic, aka the chocolate Nubian soul brother from Ghana, West Africa. I'll drop the wisdomatic truth poems. I'll give it to you live, uncensored. I thought I would do something a little different on this live broadcast. Obviously, I thought I'd take my shirt off so I could show you my sexiness and whatnot. Boom! Hopefully we can get some more ladies up here on this stream. But no, I just wanted to have a Q&A session, let you guys get an understanding as to who I am, what I'm about. And I have a whole bunch of questions on TikTok that I haven't answered, so thought I would address them, give you an insight into the mysterious origins of krishool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Krishool. That is my artist name. My actual name is Krishna. That's right, Hari Krishna, right? Every time I meet an Indian cab driver, they're like, your name is Hari Krishna. Yes, do you know that Krishna? Yes, I do. My father spent a lot of time in India, and I spent a lot of my youth learning about the Vedic tradition, learning about all that amazing knowledge, Ayurveda, the yoga, the mystical traditions of the East and whatnot. Thus, I have become the esoteric noetic. But no, I've always had a fascination with Eastern mysticism, psychology, society, everything really. But first and foremost, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I am an entertainer, a professional silly person. And I love performing. I love entertaining people. I think one of the coolest things that you can do is inspire people or bring excitement to them, and that is why I love singing, dancing, and recently I've been making a lot of content on the TikTok, and I've had a podcast for quite a number of years. But yes, my full name is Krishna Yao. I'm from Ghana, West Africa. That's a Ghanaian name. It means I was born on Thursday. And my last name is too difficult to pronounce, so I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that for you. Now, my last name is Mokweji. It is a name belonging to the Ewe tribe of my father, and it means the right path. Interestingly enough, I remember meeting a Polishman some time back, and he was telling me that the way that my name is spelled, so it's actually a Polish name as well. And I found it very interesting that it has a different pronunciation in Poland. I think it's pronounced Nokbeje in Polish. But no, my name is Krishna Nokbeji, but I go by Krishool. Just call me Krishool. That's my artist name. That's what most people address me as. Not Chris, not Kisna. A lot of the ladies used to call me Kisner as a kid because they couldn't say Krishna, but just Krishool. That's fine. All right, so what do I do? As I mentioned, I'm a singer, dancer, entertainer, professional sexy man. That's why I got my shirt off right now. But no, I just love performing. That is my passion, and that is something that I plan on making my biggest focus throughout life. I do a lot of things. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my hands in this and that, and I try to do things to a very high level. Even though most of my content is, well, it needs some work. I'd say that much, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But I do like to keep myself busy doing multiple things. You know, variety is the spice of life, as they say. But my main focus has always been channeled vision towards the performing arts. It's what I love to do. All right, so yeah, you guys might know me from a bunch of reality TV shows. I'm a reality TV show whore. I've been on, most recently, The Voice, season 3 of The Voice under Team Will I Am, where I danced my way and serenaded the ladies on stage. Someone referred to me as the best dancer recently on The Voice, and I will take that accolade. Thank you, you know, because I mean, The Voice is typically a talent show for singing, but of course I got my moves. So if you want to check that out, you can find me on the YouTubes, dancing in front of Ricky Martin, Will I Am, Kylie Minogue, and the Madden brothers. I've also been on the X Factor, Search for Supermodels, featured on that, a whole bunch of other reality TV shows. But just to speak a bit more about myself, just to give you guys an idea into what my values are, my ethics, my political alignment, and so forth. I am chaotic good. That's my alignment in Dungeons and Dragons. That means I beat to the rhythm of my own heart. Chaotic goods are the best because they do not submit to the will of the state. They don't allow their conscience to be governed by these arbitrary laws of our world. But they know what is right and they do what is right. And it seems like chaos to all the momos out there, but it's actually doing things that are in alignment with the universal law. And yeah, that makes me an anarchist. I don't believe in governments. I don't believe in any kind of coercion. I mean, unless, of course, the governments are only protecting individual rights, or protecting people from committing any kind of aggression against you, which is the classic understanding of human rights. And when a government is doing that, it ceases to be a government. So a lot of people call me an anarchist, but I just don't like any political terms. I'm apolitical. I don't believe in any kind of politics in terms of wealth distribution and so forth. I have my own aesthetic views in regards to what I would want for certain causes and so forth. I really love animals. I really love certain charities and whatnot. However, I don't believe in forcing people to surrender their rights or freedoms for a political party or any agenda, which is typically what happens within any government. So that makes me, I guess, very apolitical. I am someone that does not smoke, don't drink, never drunk. I mean, I remember trying some wine as a little kid, but I've never been drunk. Don't smoke, don't do drugs, never have, don't do any experimental drugs or experimental gene therapies for that matter. So that is right. I'm a pure blood, as I'm sure you guys have probably figured out by now. I like to call myself a transvaxide. That means identify that I've taken the the experimental boom shakalaka. That's what I call it, the boom shakalaka. I'm talking about the gene therapy. You guys know what I'm talking about. But fundamentally, no, I am very conscious about what I put into my body. I mean, come on, look at me. I treat my body like a temple. Look at this. Look at these. Boom. I think this guy over here is going to be putting experimental whatever it might be into my body. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't take anything. I'm straight edge. I don't even eat. I get high on life. Life and the sun is my only source of nutrition. No, I do eat. I eat pretty much anything I want, but I don't eat anything that is born or anything that comes out of the things that are born. I guess some people think that makes me a vegan or vegetarian, call it what you will. But fundamentally, no, I love animals. I love life. And I also love beings that have the animating force working through them. So that's in regards to sentient beings. And I don't believe that people of spiritual intensity make their bodies a graveyard for dead corpses, which is something that has been done for a long time. And I know, we got to eat all this stuff in order to keep ourselves healthy. But as you can see, I'm healthy. No dead corpses required here. But also, what can I tell you about myself? I'm many things. I'm incredibly modest, as I'm sure you can tell. That's why I have my shirt off. I'm incredibly talented. I mean, I sing, I dance, I play guitar, fit as fuck. I mean, I bench press 160 kilograms. I competed in the nationals in triple jump, was the penultimate state long jump champion. I won the pentathlon every year in high school, almost every year, barring a few years. And I was the district pentathlon champion. So, yeah, it was my thing to always keep myself in top condition, just so I could put it in people's faces. And when they were telling me that, oh, you can't be strong and fit, Krishna, you don't eat meat. And I always tell them, no meat required here. So that's always been a big thing for me. Like, I always felt as if I needed to prove to people that you don't need to do X and Y in order to be healthy and whatnot. So I've always been very active in the realm of physical sports. I've always been a nerd. I started the chess club in high school. I was in the SRC, mainly because my brother was really popular. And once I got to high school, all the seniors were such a fan of my brother that they somehow influenced everyone in my year level to vote for me, because they're like, oh, Krishna's cool. He's Carruthers' brother. Carruthers was my brother. He was someone that was very, very popular in high school, and it's probably the reason I got in the SRC and became form captain and whatnot. Anyway, I started the chess club. I was very much into chess in my youth. I was trained by a grandmaster and I nerded out on chess, but it's not something I play anymore. I'm more into Call of Duty, which I think I'm awesome at, but everyone seems to kick my ass at. Anytime I get online and I play Call of Duty, these little 7-year-old kids keep smoking me, and it really annoys me. But that's what I tend to do to relax, play games or serenade the senoritas. But yeah, I'm into fitness. I'm into health. I'm into consciousness. I'm into bringing about an efflorescence of consciousness, mind, body, and spirit. I think to have a strong body means that you have a strong mind. So I'm all about educating this shit, bro. Not just about the guns and the the long schlong. No, I'm about really maximizing the human potential. So yeah, I take that stuff seriously. I'm going to address some questions here in a moment. But in regards to what I am into when it comes to women, I love big butts. I cannot lie. All you other brothers can't deny. No, I do love big butts, but I also love Babylons. I'm also a big, boob person. I feel like I've matured. I've always been into the boobs from a very young age, but lately I feel like I'm matured to the ass as well. So I don't discriminate. However, you do have to have one or the other, an ass or Babylons. You can't be one of these guys that says that you are a woman when you have no ass and you have no Babylons and you have some long thing in between your legs and you're like, I'm a woman. I can be whatever I want to be. If I want to say I'm a woman, I'm a woman. People are always asking me what my gender pronouns are. My gender pronouns are chocolate Nubian. There. That's how much I know about gender pronouns. That's how much I care about them. I don't have any. Look, I respect people in wanting to use gender pronouns, even wanting to perpetuate that whole thing. That's fine. But I think people can tell, particularly when they look at my guns, that clearly I am a man. Clearly I'm a strong individual. I'm a conscious, intelligent individual. I mean, hell, I bench press 160 kilograms, have an IQ 131. I'm hugely compassionate. I love animals. I mean, what is there not to love about me, ladies and gentlemen? Clearly, I'm sweet and considerate, like a woman, but I'm also very strong and masculine. At least that's what I strive for. And I am single, just to answer another question there. Now, I'm going to get onto some of the TikTok questions that have been thrown my way. One of the things I love about TikTok, I've become a TikTok whore lately. You guys probably don't see me on TikTok because you're always watching me on YouTube. If you are on YouTube and you do not listen to me, watch me on TikTok, shame on you. Shame on you. Follow me right now. Stop watching this thing. Go and follow me on TikTok because that's where I serenade all the senoritas. Now, granted, I don't talk about all the conscious stuff that I'm into as much there, but you may see me with my shirt off more often if you come on my TikTok live. And the great thing about TikTok is people ask you a lot of questions, and I love answering questions. You probably noticed that I have a big mouth. I'm very much into the conversational jiu-jitsu. All right, so to address some questions here. If you could describe your mother in one word, how would you describe it? If you could describe your mother, like my mother is an it. My mother is a woman. How dare you? Don't be so disrespectful. Shin Lisa 4. My mother is controlling. She's very much the matriarch, very controlling, wants to control every aspect of your life. But she doesn't seem to realize that I have my own will. A lot of people say that you are a product of your parents. They guide you and so forth. I'm a product of the universe. I am very much my own person. From a very young age, I've always known what I wanted to do. And granted, I've always learned from my parents and my mom, my dad, from everyone around me. I have always been a very driven person in terms of what I want to do. I'm incorrigible. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. And granted, people can influence me in terms of aesthetic things like, to change my style, the way that I conduct myself. But when it comes to things that my values, I am immovable. And I say this because a lot of people think that it's a huge part of who you are. But I very much believe the circumstances of your birth are not determined by your birth. They're determined by what you do with your life. It's what you do with your life that determines who you are. Okay. If I were a wrestler, what would my theme song be? Ooh, I like this. Smooth Criminal. Dun, 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 dun. All right. What comes to your mind when you heard about death? I remember when I was a little kid and I first thought about death. I first started contemplating the fact that I would not live forever. What a sick joke for someone to bring me into this existence with me knowing that I would at some point cease to be. And it plagued my mind for quite some time, in my youth. I think I would have been like 5 or 6. But then at that time, it seemed so long away that I was like, oh, in a very, very long time, I won't even have to think about that. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, life seems to speed up on you. I mean, I've been around for a while, I'm a millennial, but I will tell you that I'm on the later cusp of the millennial stage, and I've seen quite a lot of things. And I'll tell you one thing, that as you start to move through life, it speeds up. You think you have a lot of time. First 10 years feels like an infinity. Next 10 years feels very long, but not as long. And then you can look back on all these things that you've done, and you're like, wow, I've been around for a long while. And that continues to happen, but then it speeds up. Then each year, it feels like it's just speeding up more and more and more and more and more, until before you know it, you have kids. And then you're speaking like this, like Gandalf. And then you're saying things like, back in my time. And so forth. So, yeah, life has this uncanny ability to speed up on you, and before you know it, you don't have it. And I remember as I started contemplating the fact that there was less and less time to do shit, I started becoming more and more impatient. Particularly when you go through life events, like you lose loved ones and so forth, you realize, wow, I need to start doing things in this world and making an impact in this Euclidean meat space. But yeah, I remember thinking about death from a very young age. And what comes to my mind when I think about it? Well, I guess what comes to my mind is my need to make the most out of this fleeting existence. I do believe that there is a life after death. I mean, I don't believe that there is any end. Energy never dies. Essentially, we just move from one state to another. I was a little kid, then I became a bigger kid, and then I metamorphosized into the chocolate Nubian soul brother, that which you were seeing before you, this excellent manifestation of both physical, aesthetic, and intellectual prowess. And yeah, you just keep on bringing about more and more changes, and even after the death of this physical body, you go on. That's what comes to mind when I think of death. If you had a chance to talk to someone in heaven, who would it be?
Who would it be?
I was going to say Yoda, but I don't think he's a real-life figure. Love to get. I love wisdomatic figures, people that have conscious knowledge, because that's the kind of person I want to be. I want to be someone that has not only the ability to, be relevant, be funny, be silly, but definitely inspire people through knowledge and understanding. And these are the people that I've been most inspired by. People like Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance man, or Pythagoras, the first universal genius, or Nikola Tesla, this incredible inventor, which is very removed from the kind of person I am in the sense that I do love performing silliness. I admire entertainers, I admire martial artists, but I also admire people that are conscious people. I admire the polymaths, because when you think about it, many of these figures were not just one person. People like Leonardo da Vinci, he was an athlete. He had an incredible physique at a young age, lived for a very long time. From what I remember, yeah, lived a pretty good life, definitely for his time, but was also incredibly intelligent, was an artist, an inventor, an engineer. He was the quintessential polymath. And I think it's very important to be many things, to be a multiplicity of things, not just to be, you see, there's this idea that you can only be great in one field. And the idea behind that is that you only have a finite amount of hours, right, in a day. And you have to be selective of how you use your time and energy. It's kind of like a game of Dungeons and Dragons. You kind of have to figure out where you want to invest your experience points into, right? Because you can't do everything. However, you'll find that there is this trick that when you become excellent at something, those experience points that you gain are transferable to other areas, like other pursuits. It becomes easier to pick up other pursuits when you've excelled in one pursuit. As Miyamoto Musashi once said, once you see the way broadly, you see the way in all things. Dope, right? That's right. I'm not just a pretty face. And that basically means once you understand the underlying essence of success, brilliance, you can apply that to many other things. And that is what I like about Miyamoto Musashi, and what I like about people that are successful in many different things. They found that one key of brilliance that allows them to excel in one particular area, and then they apply that to many other areas. So just to answer the question, I know I went on a long rant there. That's what I tend to do, go on these tangents. But I would say the person I would most like to meet is Miyamoto Musashi, because he was very much the embodiment of that. He was a calligrapher, and he was someone. It was someone that lived in Japan, ancient Japan. I think, don't quote me, but around maybe the 13th or 14th century, and this guy went around having Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, right? Not the video game version. This is the real deal version, you know? Not this fake kind of Raiden. No, I'm talking about real shit. Like, takes out a samurai, has a fight with a guy, and kills him. And he did this many, many times, about 70 times, and won every single time. And he mastered the art of Zen, and essentially mastered the art of calligraphy, and applied this, strangely enough, something completely removed from having Mortal Kombat, and applied this to his philosophy on being an excellent samurai. But the guy was a master, period, you know? So I have a lot of respect for people like that. People like Leonardo da Vinci, people like Nikola Tesla, Pythagoras, and so forth. And also entertainers, people that know how to inspire people or entertain them. But I'd probably say Miyamoto Musashi or Michael Jackson, you know? So he could serenade me. Or molest me, I don't know. Now, what do you do when you feel stressed? This is a very weird one, and it's not what you think. Don't be dirty, you people out there. What do you do when you feel stressed? Oh, but you do naughty things. No, I actually like to be around animals. I like to watch animals. One of my favorite things to do, because I'm not out in the outback here, even though it's Australia, mate. A lot of people think in the outback we got kangaroos running around, koala bears and everything. But it's not like that. I live in the city, so I don't get to see that much. The stray possum every once in a while. But I love to watch videos of monkeys grooming humans. It really counts. It's it's one of these AMSR kind of things. You know, that phenomenon where it feels as if someone is touching you when they're touching someone else. You know the phenomenon I'm talking about. A lot of people make money off of this thing. So I enjoy doing that, and I just like being around animals. That's something that very much calms me. Or just being around organic beings that are not working from a place of manipulation. Human beings are very manipulative. You know, they always have some ulterior motive agenda, and that I find that very stressful. You know, I like just to be organic. Animals are very much like that. I love dogs. That's why I love hanging out with dogs. But people that are in that state of paratelic consciousness, you learn shit listening to me. Paratelic consciousness is a state of mind where you are not thinking about the outcome. You were caught up in the moment. And people that are very much in that state of mind, yeah, they just know how to have a good time and relax, you know? They're just enjoying themselves. And it's very stressless when you're around beings like that. Okay, if you had to pick your favorite energy drink, what would it be and why? My favorite energy drink. Well, I don't like energy drinks because I try to keep things pure as possible. Water. Water is an energy drink, right? I feel like water is something that is very beneficial to your sustenance. Other than that, I'd probably go with Norfolk Punch. It's an ancient drink. It's been around for hundreds of years. The monks would take this thing. It comes from a place called Norfolk Island, but it's made out of like hundreds of different herbs, and it just feels like I'm some kind of sage, you know, from a different time anytime I drink this thing, because it doesn't have any of these artificial sweeteners and bullshit that you find in most of these drinks. It doesn't have aspartame. It doesn't have all of like ingredients that you can't even pronounce. Most of you people don't even look at the ingredients, right, when you consume shit, right? It's like, oh, let me take this. Oh, this looks nice. Let me have some of this. And then you find out it has all this shit that lowers your sperm count, that makes you a fucking bitch. I look at the ingredients. I'm one of these. Maybe it's because I'm like that, being vegan. You know, I'm always looking at the ingredients. But yeah, I tend to look. If I'm ingesting anything, I will definitely look at what I am ingesting. It's just as a matter of habit. But I also try to be just very, very conscious about anything that I'm putting on my body as well, unless it's bitches. No. I meant no. That. Did I say that aloud? I'm sorry. But no, I think it's very important to be mindful of what you put into yourself, what you take into yourself, for that matter. unless you want to be poisoned. Have you ever stole meat from your mother's pot? What? This is by Child Chaldina678. What a weird question. Have I ever stolen meat from my mother's pot? First of all, I don't eat meat. Meat is for pussies. No, none of that shit. I do not eat meat. And from the age of 6, I stopped eating that stuff. I watched a movie, uh, and it wasn't Earthlings or anything like that. I just watched a movie. I think it was Benji. That's right. And I just realized how much I loved animals, and I was like, I just instinctively knew that I did not want to be putting anything that was like even anything like this dog that I'd seen into my body, because I somehow knew that an animal probably had to die in order for me to eat it. So I've never been much for stealing meat from anyone, for that matter. Um, all right, what name do you call your girlfriend? Well, if I had a girlfriend, I would call her um, Baby Boo. What's up, Baby Boo? Boo Boo Kitty Fuck. I don't know, something with Boo. I feel like Boo's very sweet, sexy Boo Boo. Uh, but I don't have a girlfriend. I have girlfriends. Um, no, no, no. I don't want to give the wrong impression. I'm not a player. I do. I am currently seeing someone. She's very sweet, short, about 3 foot, blonde, my type. She is a Labrador. They're my type. Kind of seeing my next door neighbor's Labrador, but I don't think that counts. So I guess I'm somewhat single at the moment. But ladies, you better act fast if you want to get some of this. Boom, because I'm in hot demand. If you meet God for 1 minute, what will be your question? I meet God every single day. I am immersed in the presence of God. God is not some figure, some with white hair looking down upon me, telling me off because I'm misogynistic or saying inappropriate things. I've offended someone or something like that. No, God is the underlying essence of that which is. Everything we are seeing around us is because there is some force. I think the force is a good metaphor for God. It's basically this force that permeates all of reality. That is the alpha, the omega, the be and end all that is responsible for the consciousness that we are expressing. And we are very much a part of God. I mean, granted, we haven't matriculated into the different levels of consciousness in order to actually realize Godhood, to actually be reemerged into the supreme consciousness of God, but we very much are an aspect of God. I think in the same way that there are cells that make up this physical body that we call our beings. We are cells that make up cells within this planet, and planets that make up cells within the galaxy, and galaxies that make up cells within the universe, and it goes on and on and on. And this is the nature of God and reality. Damn, I'm deep. Oh! What do you like doing with your friends? With my friends? I guess it's more about what I like doing with my girlfriends. But as far as my friends, well, I do everything that I don't do with my girlfriends with them, which is playing Xbox, talking about shit, without worrying about offending anyone. Yeah, like, to me, my friends are people that I can just be myself around. I don't have to. I mean, granted, I'm not myself in the sense that I like to entertain my friends. I'd like to be silly and ridiculous, but my friends are people that I call someone my friend, someone that I can speak openly, candidly, and be real with, can be vulnerable with, tell them my insecurities, tell them my hopes, my ambitions, without being concerned as to what they will say, because I don't want to offend them, because ultimately I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and I'm not the kind of person, as much as I love entertaining people, being silly and so forth, most of the shit that I do is purely to get a rise from people. I also am mindful of the consequences of my actions and my words on people, and there are some people that you have to be constantly walking on eggshells around, and if I have to do that, then chances are you're not my friend. If I cannot be real with you, you're not my friend. If I can't have a moment of silence with you and not feel kind of awkward around it, chances are, we probably still have a lot of respect for each other, might be very, very attracted to each other, but it's not someone that I would call my friend. And yeah, the term friend is something that I tend to be more, I become a lot more exclusive in the way that I use that. There are people that I very much like, but they're not my friends unless I truly feel comfortable around them. So what do I like to do with my friends? Pretty much everything. Anything that I can do without any fear of apprehension or feeling of angst, awkwardness, these are the things that I do around my friends. No filter, let's see your natural face. Well, I don't wear makeup. I think you forget that this is a real man you're speaking to here. So, no makeup required. Who is the most stingy person you know? Who? The most stingy person that I know. Huh. I don't really hang out with stingy people. I like people that have an abundance mentality, people that are not so concerning as to trying to save every dollar. I think it's good to be frugal, but when you go out with your mates, you don't want to be like fussing over who's going to pay and things like that. It's just whatever it is, or you want to be around people that give their time, their love, their freely, and they're not keeping tabs on who's done what. This is when you really love people, and that's the attitude that I try to have. And I typically don't hang out with people that are stingy in that sense. So, yeah, I don't really have any stingy friends that I hang out with. Who's the stingiest person I know? I wouldn't know him because I make a conscious effort not to know stingy people like that. What song do you listen to after a heartbreak? Don't Stop Believing by Journey. That song always brings about this sense of sadness, but belief in me. Like this, it's a weird kind of feeling, but life is hard. You've been hurt, but just keep moving forward. Just keep moving on. I love that song. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Great song, that. Love Journey. All right. What keeps you calm even at the face of trouble or provocation? What keeps me calm even in the face of provocation? There isn't a particular thing I think about per se. Actually, scrap that. I mean, granted, I just try to discipline myself and put myself into adversity enough times so that when I am stressed out, my default is not to be stressed out because I dealt with adversity so much, And you do this through stress inoculation, things like having cold showers, being confronting, having arguments, so you become better at dealing with this shit. And, I still struggle. There are times when I feel uncomfortable and so forth. But in terms of something that I can think about that will bring about a more calmer state of mind, I remember that, as Achilles said in the movie Troy, like there's this classic scene, right, where he's about to take on this warrior. You know the scene. It's the intro scene in Troy. Fucking amazing movie. Watch it if you haven't seen it, by the way. And basically, Achilles is about to fight some titan, and some lowly peon says something to the effect, I could never fight someone like that, like something along those lines, I could never do something like that. And Achilles says, that's why no one will remember you. And I love shit like that. It's like I try to instill this idea that in order for me to succeed in life, I need to be willing to confront difficult situations. And that idea is so powerful to me that I will calm myself. I will remind myself subconsciously that I need to man the fuck up if I'm nervous, if I am not in the right state of mind, that this is how you actually bring about greatness, by doing things that are difficult. That's number one. But by training yourself to embrace that and to enjoy it. There's something beautiful. You find the best fighters aren't necessarily the fighters that embrace difficulty, but they love it. Train yourself to enjoy it. Look forward to the confrontation, to be in this state where you're like, yeah, I love this shit. And you can, it's not being fake. A lot of the times you can manifest a particular state of mind by just changing your behavior. For instance, if you feel uncomfortable, you feel scared, act confident. And by acting a certain way, that will instill that sense into your very being. We often become what we do. You do something enough times and you will become that thing. You act confident enough times, and it's not being disingenuous. You will end up being confident. So yeah, I just remind myself that this is the kind of shit you need to do, and I remind myself that I need to enjoy this shit, and that calms the fuck out of me. What is the best time of day to work out? I am in the 4 a.m. club. I was a little late today. I got up at 5 a.m. Um, and I try to get shit done in the morning. I start doing a few stretches. I haven't been stretching much lately because I pulled my groin muscle. It's not what you think. No, it's not because I was playing around. But I typically do a lot of yoga, but I haven't been doing much of that lately. I've just been stretching a little, but I will do something physical. Push-ups. I'll do some kind of calisthenics training, whether it's squats or push-ups. I try to do a few push-ups in the morning. But at the moment, like I kind of spread it out. Rather than going out, spending hours going to the gym or back and forth, that kind of stuff, I just try to do as much stuff in between things. So in between movies, when I get a match on Tinder, which is every like 5 minutes or so, I'll do like 50 push-ups. And yeah, but that is actually a thing. Like I will try to do. I've trained myself to do certain things during certain moments, like whether it's push-ups, sit-ups, or things in between the day, just as a way of saving time. So yeah, I aim for about. I've recently started doing about aiming for 1,000. I've done 1,000 push-ups in a day before, and that's what I try to do. Interestingly enough, I've actually been watching. I used to do a lot of push-ups as a kid. This was my thing, right? Like I'd be doing push-ups every single time I get the opportunity to, even at work, where people would often go to the bathroom. During my breaks, I'd go to the bathroom and start doing push-ups. We get 15-minute breaks. I remember one guy walking in and just hearing like, ugh, ugh, ugh. It's like, what the fuck? And there's like, and I remember hearing a conversation one time, once I got out, I think some guy's masturbating in the bathroom. It's just like, but that's me. But yeah, I just try to do a lot of things in my free time. All right. What else? Your ex sent you a text, baby. I'm in jail. Reply with 2 words. You ex. This person can't spell properly. Your ex. What he or she was trying to say, Big Mayor 11, was that your ex has sent you a text saying, "Baby, I'm in jail," and you have to reply with 2 words. 2 words. Okay, baby. Be there. Be there. I will come and get you. All right? I mean, look, if someone is my ex, I don't do this whole kind of ex thing. Like, if you are in my circle and I still have respect for you, I care about you, I am going to try to be there for you. I don't do this thing where it's like, oh, we were together and now we're not together, so I have all my feelings towards you are gone. Don't get me wrong, if you're a bitch, I mean, chances are I'm not going to have anything to do with you. That's generally the case, right? However, if I care about you, I'm going to go and help you. This is what I do to people I care about. Whether or not they're my friends. I mean, my friends are people that they're my bros, people I can hang out with. But just because someone's not my friend doesn't mean that I don't care about them. In fact, there are people that I'm closer to in many regards that are not my friends. Like I have muses, people that inspire me, people that are girls that I'm not even fucking, that I have a very close relationship to. Actually, I have maybe 1 or 2 of them, right? And I will do anything I can to help these people. And then exes, I mean, that's typically not the case with an ex, because once a girl is no longer with me, then she moves into the state of being a muse, someone that I care about immensely, and she has to have some kind of inspirational effect on me. But a girl never goes from being my ex to being my friend per se, because my friends are my bros, only because they're just people I can say whatever I want around, right? But if someone is my ex, it doesn't mean I'm not going to associate with them or do things for them, which I think is the question, the real question, the subtext behind this question, like, would you be willing to help out your ex? And of course, just because someone is my ex doesn't mean I don't care about them. However, it's just that more often than not, that's the case. All right, share an event that made you believe God really answers prayers. I believe that God helps those that help themselves. Because I think a lot of the times people just pray and pray and pray and pray. But praying is not enough. You need to do. I believe that God, in the same way, there's this concept of the muse, right? In ancient Rome, the muse was something that would bestow greatness to people. Like when artists tap into the muse, it's essentially they're tapping into some creative force that allows them to create amazing works of art or do amazing things. These muses bestow amazing abilities upon them, whether it's the ability of clairvoyance or confidence, courage, whatever it might be, right? When muses actually tap into you, it's because you have shown enough dedication. You haven't just said, oh God, oh muse, bestow your brilliance upon me and give me the strength to smite my enemies. No, you are worthy of that. You've done something time and time and time again. You brought about excellence through discipline, through competency. So what I'm trying to express is that praying is not enough. If you pray, you consciously focus on what you want. But rather than just consciously making it a mental thing, you go about doing the things in order to bring about your goal into fruition. So you work hard at it. You focus your time and your energy and to do the things that are necessary to bring that into fruition. That's when God or the muses look upon you and grant you your boon. Damn, I sound poetic, right? Yeah, they grant you a boon. They give you your wish, but only when you're worthy of it. So in terms of things that I have prayed for, that I've actually gone and done the work for, these are situations dealing with me achieving goals, whether it's making ground in the realm of performing arts, getting on a TV show. I've done a lot of work and so forth, rehearsed, and I've got in the role, got in the part, and I prayed for these things. But the real things that I pray for, if I'm going to pray for something, it's usually for other people. I would much rather work my way and consciously make an effort to achieve something. But when I pray, it's something dealing with uplifting the vibration of the planet or people around me, my friends, my family, that kind of thing. And there are things that I pray for because I realize that ultimately that's something outside of my hands. All I can do is make a conscious effort to bring that stuff about. But ultimately, that stuff is in the hands of someone else. But praying in terms of goals and so forth that I want to achieve, it's not just a matter of praying. It's things that I go and do myself. A pic of you and your guy, babe. Oh, yeah, guy and my babe. I could probably pull one out. No, I don't want to do that shit. That shit is weird, I think it's kind of weird when you show pictures of your exes if you're not with them. And I suppose I could show you a picture of my girl. My picture of my girl would be Bella. She's my neighbor's Labrador. Actually, she's a Staffy. What am I saying? Let me see if I can bring this shit up. All right. Apologies if this is going to take a moment. Okay. Where are you, Bella? Where's a picture of Bella? Oh, here we go. It's a very sexy picture of Bella. Oh, I just missed it again. Any second now. Where are you, Bella? Bella. Alrighty. So the thing I love about Bella is she's ingenuous. What does ingenuous means? It means you are incapable of masking your emotions. This is what I love about dogs. Dogs are the kind of creatures that if they feel something, they just show it. There is no manipulation whatsoever. If there's one thing I can't stand in any kind of interaction with a guy friend or a girl, it's when people feel as if they need to manipulate a situation, play all these fucking games. I don't have time for shit like that, guys. I don't. And more importantly, I just don't like it. If I'm around someone and they feel as if they need to like pretend that they're not interested in you or do all these little things to gain like an upper hand, I hate that fucking shit. But Bella, she's just, I see her and she can't hide the fact that she's happy to see me. Come on, Bella, where are you? I just saw a photo of you and then I lost it. So annoying. Come on, Bella. Bella. And yeah, that is definitely what I like about Bella and dogs in general. All right, I'm just gonna go through one more time, see if I can find this damn photo. There we go. All right, let me see if I can bring this screen up so you guys can see it. Alrighty. All right, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Bella. Oh, you can't even see it because of the light. There we go. Is she cute or what? It's a cutie. It's well worth the wait, wasn't it? That's my girl. All right. I mean, look, I could show you thousands of pictures of me with other bitches. I'm talking about female dogs, not girls. I'm not misogynistic like that, but that would be disrespectful, right? All right, so let's go through a few more questions. I've been doing this for a while now. I think this is long enough. Ladies delete. Why would you address me as a lady? Do I look like a lady to you? I mean, check me out. What is this? Do you think this is the physique of a lady? Boom shakalaka. I think not. I think not. Recite your best ayah from the Holy Quran. I mean, look, I'm sure there are amazing things within the Holy Quran, along with having lots of women as your property and things. I actually don't. Admittedly, the Quran is one book that I have not studied enough. I started reading it probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Legit, I started reading it, but it was so tricky for me to get through in terms of just and not in terms of intellectual ability. Obviously, I could understand this shit, but it was really. And no disrespect, each to their own. But yeah, look, I definitely think you should try to study as many different things that you can, but you do have to be sagacious about the things that you study. There are many beautiful things, powerful things to be taken from many of these religious texts, but they also come with a lot of what I would call nonsense. That's just me being real about this. Let's keep it real. And yeah, sometimes if you have to navigate through too much of that stuff, you're better off going to something that is going to be more beneficial. So I remember I started reading the Quran. I think what really grabbed me was the fact that I knew there were people that had memorized this entire thing, and it is not a small book, all right? There were children that had memorized this thing. I'm like, what the? Let me understand. And then someone told me that it reads like poetry. There's something about this book that is so poetic, it's so beautiful that look, you have to read it. It's just the most beautiful thing ever. And I'm like, okay, let me check this thing out. But I didn't finish it. That being said, I have read a lot of religious books. I've read the Bible as a kid. I have read the Nag Hammadi texts. I've read tens and thousands of hours worth of philosophy. Typically in audio since the 2000s. I switched over to audio stuff. Most of the stuff I would read as a kid though was fantasy fiction books. But I've gone through a lot of material dealing with comparative religion and philosophy. Thousands of hours worth of different philosophical schools, various philosophers and so forth. Heraclitus, Aristotle, Plato, a whole bunch of people. And I think it's good because it allows you to gain an understanding in regard. The best way to educate yourself is to look at the classics, have a look at the greatest minds and try to understand how they have seen the world. Doesn't mean you have to adopt their worldview, but it's good to at least contrast their views with other philosophers and so forth and arrive at what is true for you. And that's what I did in my early childhood. Okay. Share a song you never get tired of. A song I never get tired of. I don't want to deal with any kind of copyright issues on YouTube. Okay, who is my best social media friend? See, the problem with most of my friends is they're not like me. They're not social media whores. And the ones that are, though, I get along with very well. I'd say, Dick Jones. He's really into the whole TikTok thing lately. I'm not sure if he's been posting a lot. He typically gets banned, though, because he's the guy's rich gay. I've been meaning to get Dick Jones on this podcast. I have to get him here. He's a very interesting character. Seriously, if I can get him on this podcast and we can make this thing like a regular, it's going to be fucking insane. But yeah, Dick Jones, if you watch, he won't watch this. He doesn't want to see. Actually, he probably would watch me naked. He's always sending me naked pictures. I mean, the guy's straight and shit, naked gay pictures and shit. But he is the kind of person to be like, yeah, let me check out this chocolate boy because he's naked. Yeah, that's right, Dick Jones. What scares you about NFTs? Nothing. I think they're an amazing revolutionary technology, and I think they're going to make me a lot of money. Guess my age, as in people guessing my age. I'm 69 years old. People always want to know my age. I don't give it out to them. I don't tell people my bank account, the amount of money in my bank account. I don't tell people how long I've been on this planet for. I don't like giving out numbers, unless it's my penis size. That's one thing I will give out. Can I wake up famous? Yeah, it's possible. You can put. I've had videos that I've uploaded, and then the next day you're like, what? I got 10 views. Oh my! Now I think I'd say the most viral video that I've ever had was a video I put about Joe Rogan. I think he was dissing the whole vegetarian diet or something like that, and it was shared by the vegan community. That went pretty viral. Actually, what am I saying? Now, the most viral video I've done, but it wasn't really my video, was my performance on The Voice. That was pretty dope. Check that out. All right, I'm going to do one more question, and I'm going to wind this thing down. Are you proud of your smile? Most definitely. People always comment on my smile. Apparently, I have a very beautiful smile. Let us know in the comments below what you think of my smile. Alrighty. I'm going to leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments below if there's anything else you want to know about me. And remember, there are 3 things that cannot remain hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the wisdomatic truth bombs of yours truly, Krishool, a.k.a. the chocolate Nubian soul brother from Ghana, West Africa. And check us out on the TikTok. You can find all of my links on krishool.com. All my podcasts, and just go to TikTok. That's where I'm focusing on at the moment. Let us know if you are into making content, because one of the questions there, do I have any social media friends? I definitely need more social media friends because they're interesting and we can collaborate and make cool content. So if you are in, it doesn't matter, we're in the world. We can collaborate. We don't need to be in the same city in order to collaborate. So hit us up if you make good content. It's got to be legit. You got to have some kind of a following here, and you're interested in comedy, entertainment, society, consciousness, spirituality, all of these amazing things. I call myself the esoteric noetic, not because I am into boring things, ladies and gentlemen. I talk about the stuff that goes on in the hidden. I'm into mystery school traditions, the knowledge from the land of Kemet. So this is ancient wisdom traditions from ancient Egypt. This is things dealing with science, spirituality, quantum mechanics, all of this shit, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of stuff that I love to talk about. But also cryptocurrencies, also finance, health, mind, body, and spirit. I'm all about being a bridge between the momos, those that are caught up wanting to know about Kim Kardashian, and those that want to know about what's really going on in society, about the Agenda 2030, about conspiracies and so forth. And this is the world that I come from. I come from a world of secret societies. My dad was a member of the Order of the Golden Dawn. He was a member of a secret society. I spent most of my youth learning about this kind of shit. This is why I'm so fucking knowledgeable about this kind of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. If I walk into a room, my goal is to make sure that I am the most conscious mofo in that fucking room when it comes to understanding what's really going on in the world. And that is why I like having this podcast. I love sharing this kind of stuff because the world is full of so much entertainment, but so many people are not interested in really understanding what's going on in the world. And that's where I come in. This is the kind of stuff I want to talk about. But I also want to have a Coke and smile and talk about crazy, silly things, that seem very kind of inappropriate. But I think it's good to have a balance. All things in moderation, besides sex, drugs, and consciousness, learning about the mysteries of the universe. Until next time, Surya Namaskar, Namaste, peace be upon your butt cheeks,